everyone and welcome to the channel Bob Sales This Times Next Year. So we did just have the AMA last night. I'm actually halfway through another video, so I'm actually going to continue making that video today rather than putting out a new one. But that being said, I did want to get into some of the things that happened yesterday with the AMA, and I normally don't do that very often. And I normally don't do these sort of videos very often. So it's a bit random, it's a bit off the cuff, and I do apologise. I've had no sleep after a night shift, so forgive me if I look a little rough right now. So I'm a little wired, I'm a little tired, and if you can tell me where that quote's come from, I'll give you a gold star. Anyway, it's from a famous movie. So I'm a little wired, I'm a little tired, you can give me a break. So anyway, back to the AMA itself. So the AMA come out, everyone was expecting a bit more. I mean, normally in the AMAs, it always happens that we're all expecting a bit more and it never seems to come at this point. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Progress is always slow. Now, one of the things that was in the AMA yesterday was the branding. Now, the branding, why have you done that to our branding? So right now, obviously, it's your choice, VeVe, it's your company, but you've only got to look at your Twitter feeds right now to see 90% of the VeVe users right now, your user base, are 30 to 40-year-old males, and 90% also don't like the logos. Now, it's not the font of the logo itself. I would say you could give that a pass, even though I've got a different one tattooed on my arm. So that is another different problem. But at the same time, the company name's the same, so I'm quite happy to keep that. But it's not too bad. But the old one's definitely cleaner, definitely looks more crisp. And I would say it's better. It was no need to be changed. So the main problem with the rebranding, I don't have a problem with the actual slogan itself. I don't actually mind any of that. I don't mind how the web app looks. It looks pretty cool, to be honest. But it's the heart symbol. Why have we got a heart symbol for the VeVe app right now? Like, am I going crazy right now? That is not relative whatsoever. And we're being told it's relative to the Web3 space, the colours of Web3 space colours. I'm not being funny, but the Superstar Money colours. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the rebranding. Now, the colours are not too bad. I don't mind the colours, as I say. It is literally the heart symbol. Why have we got heart symbol in there? It's like a heart rate monitor app. It's like a dating app. So I'm not really sure why we've got that. It reminds me nothing of VeVe NFTs whatsoever. I mean, the last one was obviously a V. At least that was something. At least it was, you know, at least it looked relative. But this heart symbol, I'm not about the heart symbol. Sorry, VeVe, but I'm not. Like, literally, there is a lot of people that think the same about that. There's a lot of people that think the same about that. I'm definitely happy with my one. So one of the other things I did want to mention is people on Twitter right now. So there's about 10%, like I say, 10 to 15% that do like the rebranding or don't mind it. Keep saying stuff like people are fudding the logo and stuff like that. I'm not being funny. You can't fud a logo. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. That is the meaning. You cannot fud a logo. So if you don't like a logo and you turn around and say your opinion on that, that is an opinion. That is not FUD. You can have a right to an opinion to not like the new logo. It's not because I'm heartless. I love all of you. I love the VeVe app. But it's not relative. So that's my problem with the logo anyway. So Superstar Money kind of like the logo. And I think they've done it so he couldn't complain about the logo. Because let's face it, if it's Superstar Money colours, they have to like the logo. So we didn't get our Superstar normal ramp we was expecting last night. I think my collectibles actually like the logo too. So there is some people that do like the logo. But there's a lot of people that don't like the logo. And we think you should change it back. Now, one of the other things I see on Twitter is I didn't buy into VeVe for the logo, sorry. I bought into VeVe for the future. For the IPs and stuff like that. Yeah, so did everyone else. But it don't mean you can't say you don't like the logo. Like, where does that thought process come from? Like, seriously. It was like one of the other things I heard from one of the VeVe fam the other day, right? It was something about making gems in the marketplace. And I got told, well, I'm a collector. I don't know how to make gems. I'm like, dude, just because you're a collector don't mean you don't buy things for the best price you can get them for. Don't mean you don't sit there in the market waiting for something to drop to the price you're willing to pay. Come on, dude, seriously? And that's coming from a real life collector. So there's some really silly statements about stuff like this in a minute. And that's one of the other negatives about the rebranding. Like, no one knew it was happening. Right now we have timelines for about 10 different things and none of them things are done. So no one knew this rebranding was happening. The rebranding could have waited. We've got 10 other things you could be getting on with right now. I mean, Lambo, you've just announced now, is going to be 2-3 months. Going to be November, December time, end of that time. And we're still waiting for it. So one of the other things they did announce in the AMA is merge accounts. If you didn't read that article by now, you've been living under a rock. That article has literally been everywhere for the last 6 months, I would say. Every 5 minutes, every month or two, it gets retweeted. Now, I get they're trying to be clear so no one loses their OMI tokens and stuff like that. But dude, 6 months later, we get the message. The thing with a merge, what I don't really like, I don't really get, is why can't you merge 2 KYC'd accounts? I really don't get that. I really don't understand that. So right now, the only people you're helping with a merge is maybe family members who have kids or just pure bots. I mean, who has 4 accounts? So if you had accounts to start off with, if you're trying the multiple phone thing, I'm not really sure there was that many people with 4 accounts unless you were using a botting script to do that. But obviously that's just me. I could be wrong. There could be loads of you with 10 accounts. But from my personal experience, I only had 2 accounts. And that was only because I couldn't KYC the first one because my passport would not come. So that's the other point we'll get to right now. So I missed AF15 on the drop because KYC come out, I think, a month before that. And the British passport people at the time were backed up because everyone wanted to go on holiday after COVID. So I didn't actually get my passport till 6-7 months later. So the whole time I was sat outside the app, couldn't go for drops because I couldn't KYC. So I actually missed AF15 because of this. This is actually how the bobsales wife account started because of this. So I actually KYC'd that 3 days before and I must have missed it by literally an hour because when it comes to drop time, I couldn't buy anything. So I missed AF15 and I should have got AF15. So I was not happy about that. Now you're telling me that in a couple of months, you want new users to be able to come into the app, not KYC, and participate in drops. Dude, I lost AF15 for that sake. I lost literally 7 months of drops. I didn't have no one else to make a KYC account for me at the time. So overall, I think that only helps 1 people, and I think it's bots. Right now, we know some of the drops are not selling out. Well, actually, this week, they've actually started selling out again. Even the comic, the 10,000 comic the other day that weren't worth that much in the real world, and yet it's still sold out. So things are starting to look better that way. But the market's still down, cash out's back. That has definitely lowered it back down again. So one of the other things they did mention is crypto to pay in is back in beta testing. And that's as far as we got with that, to be honest. They're saying it's looking more like November time. It is now February right now, and we're already talking about November time. Come on, like seriously? Now, one of the improvements they have made is the search bar. We all noticed the search bar. Now, the search bar is actually pretty good right now. It is near enough perfect. I mean, there's a few bits you could change in there if you don't get the right font, you don't get the right dashes in between the Spider-Man comics, etc. It won't load up. One of the other good things they did announce was we do have more comic publishers in the line. So we do have more IPs ready to upload comics. So right now we've had Marvel mainly. We've had a couple of Tarzan DC comics that are not actually DC, that are actually DC. It's a bit hit and miss with them ones. I mean, both the Disney ones we had recently, they're actually doing pretty well. They're still sat doing pretty well right now. So now who will the IPs be? That's the question. I'm hoping Dark Horse Comics myself, because that is actually a really good comic brand. And they actually do the Alien vs Predator comics. One of the other things they did say is we've actually got Rambo coming to the app. So I just wanted to update you. I just wanted to do a quick rant this way for a change because I am actually doing a good video right now. I won't spoil that right now, but I am actually doing a video. I've been doing it for 2 days. The research, the filming, the editing and everything, even just adding little clips in, takes a while to do. So forgive me for that. So sorry if I've been a bit here and there. It is 7, 8 o'clock for me now and I've had no sleep. It's actually 9 o'clock and I've actually had no sleep. I've just done a night shift, so forgive me for not being the clearest spoken today. But as always, I am going to start doing more of these, so I hope you join us. I am going to start my first live soon. That is actually planned. I'm actually all getting set up for that. I've got some new equipment coming, so I'm hoping that actually improves the live streams themselves. I'll tell you one of the funny things that did happen today, though, with David Yu himself. So David actually see my rant tweet about why have you changed the lettering? Like, what have you done? I've got this tattooed on my arm. Like, change it back, please. And do you know what he said? At least you got the OG one. So it was quite a good tweet, but at the same time, I want my branding back, man. Change my branding back. But yeah, it's nice to see he can still engage, even if it's not always the best comment, not the positive comment. So it wasn't rude or anything, but it did say that his logo sucked, which is very true. So I can't help but be true. I'm British. That's what we do. So anyway, I've been your host, Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. A peace.